Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. It's another miserable British day. As you can see, it was just raining. It's probably gonna rain all day. Just running some errands quickly, and then we're gonna go jump in the van and get on the road. We've got something special to go pick up. Right, so it's the next day now because it just kept raining. It's actually stopped shortly for a moment, so I've quickly got what we picked up the other day outside so you guys can see. So we've got a white front bumper, there's a white wing down there, and there's a white wing down there. But why did we need this stuff? Wow, because of this chunky boys we're going to be running. These Team Dynamic 1.9s. I can't remember if I've showed you previously, but I have now got some proper tyres on it, not the stretch I had on before. So these are a set of 245s on, 48ings, so some decent sized tread now. I've got big hands, for the people that don't actually know me. That's a reference to how big it is. At some point I'll put it up against one of the stock wheels so you can see actually how big it is. So this bumper and these wings are a lot wider than standard. For people that don't have a CupraR, you probably wouldn't know. See this lip here, it's quite prominent. So if we go down here, and I've got one of each off, got one off the car to show you. So this is the driver's side arch, and this will be the driver's side new arch. Obviously these need a load of bodywork stuff doing to them and painting. There's going to be a lot of trial and error with fitting, but the lip on these is a lot bigger. I'll show you these ones first. As you can see, the lip is just this bit here. This bit's just raised up a little bit. Now we come look at the other one. I'm hoping you can see in the light. Hopefully from here you can see the two compared. See how this one's got a big lip like this, and that one almost looks flat. Don't know if you can see better there. That's how big the lip is. So it's a big lip on this and basically none on that. Look how big it is. That's so that we can fit these big tyres in. So they used to race Leons in a Cup series in Spain, potentially other places I believe, called and the cars were called Super Copas.
Ellos muy jóvenes y nada dispuestos a ceder un ápice de su terreno. Rafael Villanueva, Nacho Gavari, Lucas Guerrero e Iñaki Goiburu.
So this is a Super Copa kit. So it comes with wide front arches and would normally be the stock front bumper, and you would add on fiberglass splats to meet up with the arches, because of course the arches are bigger here. So your stock front bumper, when you get to here, you've got this massive gap otherwise. So you normally have splats you'd rivet on. However, this bumper that I've got and the arches came from Xsport Racing. He is in the UK, in Basingstoke. He used to have a Super Copa himself, and obviously he wanted to make the kits that he had enough for if they got damaged during racing. So he smoothed in the splat so that it was some, well, it didn't look like two pieces, and then he has made a mold of it. So this is out of his mold, the arches up there and the bumper. He does all panels you could possibly think of for the Leons. So these aren't just fiberglass either. These I've gone for Kevlar. That's white, so yellow. You can see the Kevlar weave there. So these are rigid, there is no flop. I've seen people with fiberglass panels before and they're really floppy. You can hear the metal one and look how soft the OEM one is. And then this one, this is actually got stiffer than the OEM one. I'm hoping with the Kevlar they're going to make them last a lot longer. Obviously there's a lot of adjustments and holes we've got to drill ourselves and bodywork and smoothing and stuff to get them to look nice and fit. But luckily we will have someone that will be able to do that stuff for us. It has got all of these are infilled, so we'll have to cut all these out, that out for the grill, and those which are this part round here, so you have to cut all that out to fit all the OEM, well, as much as the OEM stuff that I plan on fitting. So if we get time, I might chuck them on in this episode so we can get an idea of how wide they are. Now I wanted to do it with the original OEM wheel on to show you how much wider they are. However, I've got a spacer on here, so I'd have to take it off, take the spacer off, put the wheel back on, lower it back down and put the arch. So what I'm going to do instead is, you can see with this spacer on the OEM arch, it's flush to it. Obviously the stock wheels normally sit in the arch, but with this spacer, which is a 15mm, looks like, something like that, it sits flush with the arch. So I'm going to take arch off, I'm going to put on, not this one, I'm going to put on the arch from up there. It'll only be loosely, and we'll do the front bumper loosely to give you an idea of how much wider it's going to be. Now these tyres on here are 225s, these tyres, and we're going to a 245, so it is considerably bigger. Obviously we're going to need it with the power that this thing's going to make. Right, I'm going to set you down and we're going to attempt to fit some stuff before I've got to go do some other jobs. Right, so this is literally, I've just placed it on. That's all I've done, just placed it on and just pushed that corner in. Nothing's bolted, nothing's trimmed, nothing's adjusted. It's literally exactly how it comes. Obviously there's a lot of fettling and stuff we need to do to get the panel gaps nice and lined up. It's literally just placed, like I said, nothing held in, but this is how it sits. Now the one problem with these arches is how high they sit. It's nothing really that I can do anything about. I'm not a bodywork or fiberglass expert or genius. We do have lots of height room, so we could potentially go to a bigger wheel. We'll have a bigger wheel as a street wheel. If we didn't want so much arch gap, we could go to a 19 for a street, or we could go to a 45 profile tyre, get something a bit meatier and chunkier to fit in there. Obviously we could go potentially a wider tyre. If we look up, I don't know if you'll be able to see how much room we've got. There is some room up there, I'd have to measure it, but we may have room to go to a next tyre up. So we could potentially go to instead of a 245, go up to 25. And obviously sticking with a 40 ratio tyre, then we've got a wider sidewall. This is no spacer. Obviously I could put a little spacer in there to bring it out if we wanted, as there is a bit of room. Obviously there is other things we can do with lower arms. There are adjustable lower arms that do exist. I believe they're in America though. This is how it looks. I'm pretty sure I've got the wheel that I was going to put on the front on the front. So that is how it sits from the top. The wheel is actually hidden away. Oh god, I'm caught on a rose bush. Ah, damn it. So that is how it's sitting for the moment. I'll close the bonnet. Now remember, not even my bonnet's not on properly, so you can't judge it too much off that. But we're looking good. Looking good, I'm liking it. I just wish there was not so much arch gap. Obviously I could lower the car, but I've got it set up so that my lower arms are level. Now if we start going lower, that my lower arms are going to be tilting up, and it's going to affect all sorts of geometry and how the car actually handles. So I don't know how much lower we'll make it. Ideally I would have these down lower, but that would involve chopping these and the bumper up, which I'm not really feeling. I'm sure there's some adjustment we can do. There is some other people running it, but I'm quite happy with how they are. I think a pair of these, which we might have enough time to put the other one on. I am got places to go today, or we might have time to chuck the other one on. I'm gonna see if the front bumper will fit. It needs a lot of cutting out, so I don't know if it will fit with the intercooler how it is, but we'll have a look and see if it will line up to see how this thing is gonna look. And we're gonna chuck this bumper on. Wow, attempt to. We're gonna slide it and see if it will go on. It may well not. It may just hit the all the intercooler stuff on the inside, but we can at least attempt to see how it's gonna look. I'm gonna put you down somewhere. I haven't got my proper size tripod or my other stuff out, so you're gonna be a bit low down. Attacked by wasps. Right, should we see how this thing lines up? Now I don't know how far we'll get on to it hits the intercooler stuff, so I think it might already be hitting. Okay, so it is a pain to put on. I've got some sort of alignment issues, I think, maybe with this slam panel. Not 100% sure. So you're gonna have to ignore this side's better. I might be able to, I could do it with two hands, or I can get it to start to line up. It all needs bits adjusting, and this is popped too far on the inside. It needs to be there. Yeah, more like that. Everything is fighting me, but you can see how it will line up eventually. There'll be a load of trimming and adjusting that will be needed to do it. And yeah, I'm thinking that this is going to have to be cut out. I'm going to have to cut, obviously I'll leave extra, cut that off minimum. I might even have cut that out. I might even have to cut these off completely, so I've got more manoeuvrability, and I might have to take some stuff off from underneath to sort out. The wings don't fit too bad. The bumper is going to be the tricky thing, getting them all to line up nicely, because of course we've got to trim stuff to get these to sit where they should be, and then potentially trim stuff for this, and of course it's different on the inside, so we'll have to figure out ways of attach. I know I've got ideas of ways to attach it, but if you ignore the bumper, which I've wedged in, if you ignore the bumper now and just look at this, so this is an OEM wheel with a spacer, and if you look where it is, it's all the way in here. Look how much extra arch we've got. It's popped out at the back. It does kind of snug in. There you go, that's more like it. You can see, and the wheel is turned slightly this way as well, but you can see how much extra we've got of wheel room, especially at the back. If you look at the back there, look how much extra there is. And again, I'll show you a side one of what the arch gap looks like. Just quite big. I'll try to do something about it. I'm not too bothered with having some arch gap, but we want it to be a bit even front to rear. There you are. Then the OEM ones. The OEM one is literally like this, follows this line all the way. That much bigger. Right, so I'm going to leave you there. I'm being blinded by the sun. That's this episode. Just a quick thing of showing you the Super Cupra bodywork, and yet another hurdle I've given myself to finish this car. I feel like it's going to be a pain. I'm probably going to make mistakes and get really annoyed and then wish I'd done it differently. I've never done bodywork before, as you've seen in other episodes, and I've definitely never really done anything like this with fiberglass, especially a job anything like this. I've literally played with fiberglass maybe once a long time ago, and it was only a tiny little bit, nothing like this. So I might have to acquire some help with doing this. That's the end of this episode. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on at the minute, so after this one you may not see anything for a while. I'm gonna try to get some filming of my mates' cars and put that in there, so it's not just my CupraR the same thing every time. Mix it up a little bit. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.